Imagine waking up every morning with a fire in your chest that no one else seems to understand. The slow grind of meetings, the hollow praise, the deafening silence when real results go unnoticed. Does it ever hit that something is terribly off? It does. Because here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. The world isn't built for those who deliver real performance. It's built for those who play the comfortable game. This isn't about being liked or safe. It's about survival in a world drowning in mediocrity, but starving for excellence. If you've ever felt that itch under your skin, the pull to create something that actually matters, that ignites change instead of just keeping the status quo alive, you're not alone, and here's why. The system you're trapped in is a lie disguised as freedom. It looks like freedom, but hands you chains hidden as rules. It promises equality, but rewards comfort and conformity instead of brilliance and grit. This place, this world, it's designed to keep you small, to keep you manageable, to keep you predictable. It marketed you the dream of fair play, but handed you a script where the powerful are those who master the optics, the politics, the influence, not those who truly perform, who deliver undeniable, uncompromising impact. You feel it in your bones. The old system fails those who refuse to settle. But performances, the relentless, unapologetic results, these are the new currency of power. This isn't a theory. It's a revolution screaming to be acknowledged. There was a time when titles and influence baked into old hierarchies defined power. Today, that's crumbling beneath the weight of real performance, solid, measurable, unarguable. The harshest truth for many? Power isn't handed out to the loudest voice or the oldest name anymore. It's seized by those who show up every day and move mountains, silently slicing through noise with pure, relentless execution. Founders creating companies that ripple into entire economies. Investors who don't just bankroll ideas, but catalyze waves of transformation. Leaders who don't seek followers, but create legacies. This performance power, it's raw, it's real, and it's redefining influence across every single industry. But here's where it gets both terrifying and thrilling. Performance alone isn't enough. Everyone can work hard, but few understand how to convert that hard work into unstoppable momentum. The crowd is noisy, but the elite, they're precise. Here's the secret almost no one talks about. The new power flows where focus meets courage, where performance transcends action and becomes transformation. It's not just hitting targets, it's dismantling what's holding you back, rewriting the rules that caged your vision, and building systems that don't just survive, but dominate. If there's a burning question inside you, it's this. How do you wield this kind of performance, not just for fleeting success, but for lifelong mastery and real freedom? Start with sovereignty. That's your first weapon. Your will is the only real power you got. Forget relying on others to define your path. Forget waiting for validation from broken systems. Own your decisions like your life depends on it, because it does. Sovereignty means no half measures, no masks that hide your true self to please the crowd. It means ruthless clarity about what you want, and the relentless discipline to chase it even when it hurts. The system fears this. They want you compliant, calm, consenting. You need to be sovereign, fully, unshakably sovereign. That's how you cut through the noise and carve your own space. Next, be critical. Question everything you think you know about power, success, and influence. Nothing is sacred, nothing untouchable. The greatest breakthroughs happen when you dare to challenge what the rest of the world takes for granted. The old charts, the accepted paths, the usual ways, they're traps made for the safe and satisfiable. You need to be a breaker of limitations. Look around and ask, why must it be this way? Where can the rules bend, change, or disappear? A critical mind isn't cynical, it's hungry. Hungry for something deeper, something uncharted that others too afraid to venture into. This is where performance gathers shape and meaning beyond mere tasks. But here's the magnet: transformation. Performance isn't static, it's a living force. To wield it, you must transform not only your actions, but your reality, your identity. This is the wild part. the part that separates the coasting players from the world shakers. You must shed everything that weighs you down, the habits, mindsets, and allegiances that drain your energy or scatter your focus. You must continuously reinvent what success means for you, not what the world tells you it should be. This demands courage like fire, because transformation means losing comfort, losing certainty, losing the known to gain the extraordinary. Those who try to hold on to past wins, to old identities, lose immediately. The new power recognizes shapeshifters, those who become their own future. Here's an insight no one hands out. Be selective. Your performance is precious ammunition. Don't waste it on crowds who neither fuel your fire nor challenge your vision. Align with the few who burn as fiercely as you do, not the many who seek quiet survival. The tired masses celebrate comfort. The powerful celebrate breakthrough. Choose your alliances like the rare jewels they are. Build connections that don't just exchange ideas, but forge real synergy, where one spark ignites another, where brilliance multiplies with every interaction. This network of rare minds, a constellation of disruptors, creators, builders, is where true power is born. Isolation is a death sentence. Selective connection is your backbone. Then comes patience. This world loves the quick fix, the instant win, the viral moment. But those who wield real power play the long game. Performance alone doesn't produce miracles overnight. It's the relentless, steady accumulation, the repeated honing, the endless pursuit of better that shapes titans. Learning to be patient means embracing discomfort and uncertainty as companions, not enemies. It means understanding that real freedom, the kind that can't be taken away, is earned over time, through sweat and sacrifice. You're not here for applause. You're here for impact that echoes beyond your lifetime. Patience favors the ones who dare to wait on themselves to become more. So, what does this new power look like in action? It shows up in the founder who refuses to accept funding with strings attached, choosing instead to build an empire seeded by relentless discipline and vision. It lives in the investor who prioritizes radical honesty and transformation over safe bets and status quo. It breathes through leaders who don't just manage people, but ignite movements, tearing down old walls and lighting paths to the undiscovered. This power is noisy in silence, wild in restraint, and ferocious in focus. It's the kind of force that reshapes markets, rewires societies, and redefines human potential. It's no coincidence this power is rising as old systems crumble. The cracks you see? They're the chaos before the revolution, before the liberation of the exceptional. The tired world built on inherited influence, on connections and titles, on rules handed down by those too afraid to burn. It's being replaced. The replacements aren't shouting the loudest, they're working hardest. They move invisible, unseen, but unstoppable. This is your invitation to leave behind the quiet suffering of misalignment, the slow death of ignored capability, the unbearable cost of living a borrowed life shaped by others. You're here for more than just playing the game. You're here to break it open and build your own. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't about fitting in. It's about unapologetically standing out and standing tall. The world has no infrastructure for the rare and the brilliant. It forgot to make space for people like you who refuse to be average. So, build your own infrastructure. Connect with those few who dare to think, create, and burn with the same intensity. Form the networks that aren't built on convenience or sameness, but on fierce diversity and complementary power. Your individualism isn't a barrier. It's your superpower. The collective strength born from unique, unfiltered brilliance is what will remake industries, societies, and even realities. Whatever chains have held you back, comfort, conformity, fear, know this. They are illusions, cages built to dim your light for the convenience of others. The real slavery is the smile, the easy life, the quiet acceptance of less than what you deserve. But liberation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from struggle, from freedom wielded like a weapon, a tool sharpened by every hardship you survive and every boundary you shatter. The only way forward is to stop being afraid of burning. Burn the old you, burn the old rules, Burn every limitation thrown in your path. From those ashes, create a world no one else dared to imagine. This is your call, not to the many, but to the rare, the misunderstood, the hungry ones who feel the unbearable tension inside, the pull that says you were made for more, not just more money, more status, more applause, but more reality, more truth, more power to reshape the world on your terms, with the performance that cannot be denied. To those who are done pretending, done waiting, done accepting the system's lies, this new power is yours to claim. The edge is where progress starts. The becoming is yours to own. So, don't watch this as just another video. Take it as ignition for a relentless pursuit of liberty through performance. Seize sovereignty over your life. Question everything. Transform yourself and your reality. Align fiercely with the few who match your fire. Embrace patience like a champion. Be the unstoppable force that turns performance into the new power, and in doing so, claim not just success, but true freedom. The time has come to rise, not as followers, not as players, but as sovereign masters of your own destiny. The new power isn't waiting. It's here, burning, breathing, and demanding to be seized by those brave enough to own it. Will you answer?